The Camp Nou didn't just boo him, they rejected him. Every touch, every miss, every time he went down clutching his knee. This is not what they paid for. 160 million, the most expensive signing in club history. Brought in to replace Neymar, meant to be the future of Barcelona. Instead, he became the symbol of a crisis, a failed era, a warning. This is the story of Philippe Coutinho. Not just a flop, not just a transfer mistake, but a slow, brutal collapse of confidence, of joy and of identity. Barcelona didn't just want Coutinho, they needed him. It was January 2018. Neymar had just left in the most shocking transfer ever, joining PSG for 222 million. And Barcelona was scrambling. They had Messi, they had Suarez, but something was missing. Spark, flair, that Brazilian chaos that Neymar brought. And they believed Coutinho was the answer. And he wasn't just a backup plan, he was the crown jewel. He cost 120 million upfront plus 40 million in bonuses. At the time, the third most expensive player in history. The pressure, immense. The expectations, unrealistic. And the timing, absolutely terrible. Barca were mid-season, dominating La Liga. Unbeaten, and Coutinho arrived in the winter, cup tied to the Champions League, which meant that he couldn't help them in Europe. He played as a left winger, a midfielder, a 10, but nothing stuck. There were flashes, a goal here, an assist there, but never consistency. And by the 2018-19 season, the whistling began. Home fans booed him, his body language deteriorated and he stopped smiling. Messi didn't pass to him, Valverde benched him and the media roasted him. And the price tag, it hung around his neck like a noose. But let's rewind, before he became a symbol of Barcelona's downfall. Coutinho was magic, a Brazilian maestro in the Premier League. Liverpool's most loved player, signed for just £8.5 million from Inter Milan in 2013. It was a bargain. And at the time, he was still skinny, still raw. But Brendan Rodgers gave him the keys, and he took off. In a Liverpool team that was still finding its identity, Coutinho was a spark. He didn't just create chances, he created chaos. In the 2013-14 season with Luis Suarez and Daniel Sturridge up front, Coutinho fed them with passes that nobody else even saw. Quick turns, outside the boot flicks, inch-perfect through balls, and those long-range finesse goals? Man. He ended up finishing the 2016-17 Premier League season with 13 goals and 7 assists. Under Jurgen Klopp, he became even better, more disciplined and more decisive. A captain for Brazil and a top 10 Ballon d'Or contender. And at its peak, Coutinho was completely unplayable. So why leave? The 2017 summer window was chaos. Barcelona offered 100 million and Liverpool said no. Then 120 million, still no. Coutinho behind the scenes was frustrated. He handed in a transfer request and he said that he had a back injury and missed training. And let's be real, he forced his way out. Eventually, the offer rose to 160 million in total. Liverpool took the money, and Klopp, he didn't complain. Of course, he was sad about the fact that one of his best players just left, but he reinvested the fee into Virgil van Dijk and Alisson Becker. And Liverpool would go on to win the Champions League the very next season. Meanwhile in Barcelona, Coutinho had made the biggest move of his life, but it was already starting to fall apart. The big question never was, is Coutinho talented enough? It was, where does Coutinho fit in this team? And the truth is, he didn't. He wasn't Neymar, he didn't have that explosive pace or 1v1 dominance, he wasn't a natural winger, and playing wide left took him away from his most dangerous weapon, central playmaking. But that area, that belonged to Messi. Everything at Barca ran through him, every attack, every pass and every idea. So Coutinho became a passenger. When he got the ball, he hesitated, over-dribbled and lost it. When he didn't get the ball, he looked disengaged. Valverde tried everything, left wing, central, right side, but none of it worked. And Barca fans, they don't wait long to turn. Even when he scored, he celebrated with fingers in his ears, clear message to the crowd. And they responded with even louder boos. For 160 million, this was your answer? The weight was crushing him. By the summer of 2019, Barcelona have made up their mind. Coutinho wasn't it. They sent him out on loan to Bayern Munich with an option to buy. For him it was a fresh start, a reset. And Bayern, they gave him freedom. He was part of a rotation, no pressure to be the guy, and just play your game. And early on, he did. He had moments, goals, assists, a beautiful hat-trick versus Werder Bremen, but still, something felt off. He wasn't commanding games, he wasn't consistent. And he was quickly overshadowed by Thomas Müller, Serge Gnabry and Alphonso Davies. Then came the game, the most humiliating night in modern Barca history. And who came off the bench? Coutinho. Not only did he score 2 goals and grab an assist, he did it in 15 minutes. Against the team paying his salary. Barca's record signing, knocking them out of the Champions League while playing for another team. The symbolism was brutal, and the memes were too. Bayern didn't buy him, the option expired, so he returned back to Barcelona, to a club in a full-blown crisis. Messi was feuding with the board, the club was in a financial collapse, and Coutinho, he was injured again. His knee became a long-term issue. In 3 seasons, he missed over 18 months of football due to reoccurring problems. By the time Koeman arrived and then Xavi, Coutinho was no longer part of the plan. He went from being the next big thing to being an afterthought. By now, fans weren't even angry, they just didn't care about him anymore. And that's the worst place a player can be. In January 2022, one last spark. Steven Gerrard, now manager at Aston Villa, brings in his old teammate. And immediately, there's hope. Coutinho scores on his debut versus Manchester United. The Villa Park crowd erupts, he looks sharp, inspired, free. And for a few months, he actually looked like the old Coutinho. Goals versus Leeds, assists with Southampton, talks of a full comeback were everywhere. Villa signed him permanently for just £70 million, a 143 million value drop in just 4 years. But after that, the spark died. He was benched again, injured again, another season, another ghost. And then he's been loaned to Qatar, out of Europe, out of relevance. A name that once inspired stadiums, now barely trends on Google. And now he plays for Vasco da Gama, his boyhood club. But what really went wrong? Let's break it down. First of all, it was a complete tactical misfit. At Liverpool, he was the main creator with total freedom. At Barca, he was pushed out wide, told to do Messi's job, while also defending. He lacked acceleration for a winger, the discipline for midfield, and the structure to thrive. Then came the mental pressure, the €160 million price tag, the pressure of replacing Neymar, the fan backlash, the boos, the headlines, and the comparisons. He became fearful on the pitch, safe passes, no risk, and that's fatal for a player like him. Then he had the injury curse. Reoccurring knee issues robbed him of explosiveness. Missed key periods, including preseason, so he never found rhythm. And lastly, Barca's dysfunction. No clear sporting direction, 3 managers in 2 years, overspending, bad chemistry, and no plan. Barcelona didn't just ruin Coutinho. They ruined Dembélé, they ruined Griezmann, and they almost ruined Frenkie de Jong. Coutinho was a casualty of a broken club. He never had scandals, never disrespected his coaches, he wasn't lazy, he wasn't a diva, he was just a talented, humble kid who made one wrong move at the worst possible time. He chased a dream and it turned into a nightmare. In 2016, he was one of the best players in Europe. By 2025, he's playing in Brazil trying to stay fit for Brazil's B team. Coutinho's legacy won't be what it should have been. He won the Champions League, but only as a bench player. He played for Barcelona, but never shined. He had the talent, but never the timing. Philippe Coutinho's story is a reminder. It's not just about talent. It's about the club, the coach, the system, the timing, the body, and the mind. He never was a fraud. He was never overrated. He was just a magician caught in a wrong act. So if you enjoyed this video, drop a like and let me know in the comments. Who should I cover next? And if you haven't already, please subscribe, because these stories deserve to be told.